the other guy that we need to talk about is Elon Musk. And look at this, man. We have Elon's brother, Kimball, being warned, and Elon Musk being connected. Okay? Like, what the fuck is going on here? Dude, I mean, look at this. Look at this email. Dude, there's some crazy shit going on. Remember how Elon Musk said he refused to go to Epstein's island? Elon Musk said Jeffrey, wanted him to go to the island, and he's like, oh, no, I refused. Jeffrey tried to get me there. I refused. There was no way I was getting involved with Jeffrey. Well, what do we find? We find Elon's a liar. Look at this shit, dude. Elon messages saying, we'll be in the BVI St. Bart's area over the holidays. Is there a good time to visit? Epstein says, any day, 1st through the 8th, play it by ear if you want. Always space for you, Elon Musk. Elon says, oh, probably the first. Said, okay, probably the first then. And then Jeffrey says, I'll come and get you. Elon says, I have to fly back to the night of the 2nd. And he says, I could fly back early on the 3rd. We'll be in St. Bart's. When should we head to your island? And then I think Jeffrey forgot about him. But isn't that wild? Dude, Elon, but it gets crazier. Okay? Because not only do we find out that Elon's arranging this shit to go to Epstein Island, and in fact, he's not refusing. Epstein is not talking him into it. But guys, it gets crazier. Because look at this shit. Okay, we saw this one with the exchange. This was the one we just saw. But look at this email from Elon to Epstein on Christmas. This is on Christmas Day right here. And he says, okay, Elon, on Christmas Eve, Epstein says, you're welcome to stay or just come for the day. Plenty of room. I will send a helicopter to get you. And Elon replies on Christmas and says, do you have any parties planned? I've been working to the edge of sanity this year, and so once my kids head home after Christmas, I really want to hit the party scene in St. Bart's or elsewhere and let loose. The invitation is much appreciated, but a peaceful island experience is the opposite of what I am looking for. Oh, Elon! Oh, come here, Elon! Understood. I will see you on St. Barth. The ratio on my island might make 𝗙lie a little uncomfortable. And so look at this, though. The ratio on my island might make 𝗙lie uncomfortable. Now, what does that mean? Okay, because 𝗙lie is his girlfriend, right? Her name was actually Tallulah, but he spelled it wrong. This is Elon Musk and this woman. Okay, but like Epstein says, the ratio on my island might make Tallulah uncomfortable. So what is that, the ratio? Like, that was making me wonder, is it because there's a whole bunch of guys on the island? I was thinking if it was Tallulah and 3 other girls and there were like 15 dudes, she might be uncomfortable, right? Or I don't know. But I think there's something about that is like, it means something, right? Age ratio. Yeah, it is coded. It is coded for sure. And that was the thing that I was wondering, because I was thinking that the ratio, like if she was there and there were a bunch of Epstein male visitors, that they might have expectations of her or something. Or maybe she'd be uncomfortable because there's 20 underage girls all running around topless. I mean, it could go either way, right? But obviously, I've not really seen ratio. Like, I don't use the word ratio with age. I do use the word ratio, though, with apportionment, right? Like, 20 guys and 2 girls is a bad ratio. I've never used the word ratio to describe age. For me, ratio's an apportionment thing. So that made me think that it was something to do with the apportionment of people on the island, the ratio of women to men, which could either be 3 women and 20 dudes, or it could be 20 topless girls and like 5 dudes. And then maybe she's going to be worried because Elon's going to be looking at all these other girls, right? It could be either of, you know, or it could be an age thing, I suppose. I just have never used the word ratio in an age realm like that. But it is some coded language, and where basically it looks like Elon wanted to go to the island and he wanted a wild party, and it looks like Epstein like put the brakes on. And guys, this is very different, okay? Because Elon significantly told us that Epstein begged him to go to the island and Elon took the high road. And now we're seeing that Elon was desperately trying to go to an Epstein party on the island, specifically looking for something wild and crazy because he was on the edge of sanity. And Epstein's the one who's like, no, let's just meet at St. Bart's. Like, if you're bringing your woman, I don't think this is going to really work out. So Elon was trying to get in there, boss. Elon was trying for some of that. Now, where it gets weirder, guys, okay, is let's see if we got the rest of these. Yeah, in the end, he says it's just going to be Tallulah and me. Okay, what night day will be the wildest party on your island? Okay, he's saying how many people will you be for the heli? And then this was earlier. What night will be the wildest party? All right, telling. So not only did Elon like try to get there, but Elon was trying to get in on the wildest party, which means that Elon had heard about Jeffrey Epstein's wild parties, right? You don't ask somebody, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, if I have like my stodgy business partnering friends, I'm not going to call them up and say, when's your wildest party? I'm only going to ask the people who are known for having wild fucking parties. That is a question that Elon knows that Epstein is known for the parties, okay? Like that is very telling. You don't say that. I have some friends that I might ask, when are you throwing a rager? And then I have some friends that I would never ask that question because they don't throw ragers, okay? You know what I'm saying? Now, it gets deeper though, because this is where it really gets weird, because now we have Elon's brother, okay? Kimball, which is Elon and Kimball were involved in the very first business. Elon's whatever Zip+2 or whatever it was, his little open source database he modified, and then a whole bunch of them talked Compaq Computers into buying it. That was an Elon Kimball Musk adventure. Kimball was working with Elon when he was an undocumented immigrant who like overstayed a visa. Okay? Let us not forget. And so Kimball, this is really weird, guys, because look at this one. Okay? Kimball replies to Boris Nikolic and Jeffrey Epstein. Okay? Medication use higher among overweight, obese kids. Per our conversation, great to hang out today, Jeffrey and Boris. Many thanks for connecting me with blank. I believe you both played a role. And then he replies, Kimball, FYI, you better be nice to blank. Jeffrey goes crazy when someone mistreats his girls/friends, so better be very nice to her. And Jeffrey and I better have a special treatment at your ceremony. Great to hang out with you. See you soon. Please keep me posted. Are your travel plans NYC? And so this is Boris replying back. I'm in NYC very often as well. So he replies to Jeffrey and Boris about thanks for connecting me with a girl. And Boris says, you better be good to her. Jeffrey gets mad. Okay. Trafficking anyone? Yeah. Bruv party anyone? And then from Kimball says, I'll be back in NYC for Hollywood weekend. It scares me to imagine what you'll be for Halloween, Boris. I want to see it. Let me know if you'll be there. Seriously, I am very, Jeffrey, message received wide and clear. Okay, that's the message about being good to the girl. Seriously, I'm very happy with my time so far with Jennifer. She's great. Okay, so Boris, he CC'd Jeffrey saying message received, meaning I'm going to be good to Jennifer. Now they didn't redact Jennifer though. Isn't that weird? And guys, they did this on purpose. Okay? Tell me the Trump admin didn't do this on purpose. Okay? Because look at this. She's redacted, and then they leave her unredacted. There's no way that was on purpose because, guys, what do we have? What do we have here? We have this, guys. We have this little nugget. Remember this? Remember? Time to drop the really big bomb. Trump is in the Epstein files. The real reason they've not been made public. Mark this post for the future. The truth will come out. But then he deletes it. And he was going to start the America Party, but now he's back on Trump board, spending all the money he can on the midterms and on Trump. Because they're in there, dude. Elon and Kimball, they're involved. And they left her off, so now we can figure out who she is. But, like, that's like a warning shot to Elon, dude. I feel like this was a warning shot to some people. It was a warning shot to Lutnick. It's a warning shot to the Musks. It's a warning shot maybe to everybody else who's in those files. Because simultaneously, while this shit is going on, and while we have Kimball Musk and they leave the Jennifer, now we're going to figure out who that Jennifer is. Okay, everybody's going to research and try and figure out who the Jennifer is. All right, because they're talking about Elon's girl. But guys, look at what Blanche said today, guys, because he said something very telling, guys.
Any depiction of 𝗙CEM or child pornography was obviously excluded. Anything that would jeopardize an active federal investigation. And finally, anything that depicts or contain images of death, physical abuse, or injury, also not produced.
Okay, so that's a weird thing to say unless they have it. Death, physical injury. And then, of course, the 𝗙CEM. But the active federal investigation, guys, that's the part that he slipped in there that is problematic. Now, can I first say that, is there a little conflict of interest here, guys? Because Todd Blanche is Donald Trump's personal fucking lawyer. Why is the second level guy at the DOJ, the guy that's in charge of the Epstein thing, Donald Trump's personal lawyer? Hello? That is a massive conflict of interest that, like, this guy should be disbarred. Okay? And this whole thing about the federal investigation, there are no federal investigations. Pam Bondi, they closed this shit. Okay? They closed this shit. Right? And then what is he saying?
Look, we said in July, and it remains as true today as it was in July. If we had information, we meaning the Department of Justice, about men who abused women, we would prosecute them, right? We talked about the work that we're doing. That's why I said that. I said this earlier. There's this built-in assumption that somehow there's this hidden tranche of information of men that we know about that we're covering up or that we're choosing not to prosecute.
But dude, the survivors have talked about the men, guys. Like, come on, man. We know about the men. Like, what are we even talking about, bro?
That is not the case. I don't know whether there are men out there that abuse these women. If we learn about information and evidence that allows us to prosecute them...
Dude, what, they abuse themselves? Fuck nuts.
Better believe we will. But I don't think that the public or you all are going to uncover men within the Epstein files that abuse women, unfortunately.
Dude, but we've already seen the names of co-conspirators. The survivors have talked about the men. And Donald Trump himself did tell Marjorie Taylor Greene that people would be injured. But guys, the first thing I thought when I saw this today, with the way they're releasing this shit, they're releasing the FBI tip stuff. They're releasing the really racy, tabloidy shit, making these crazy claims that many of which probably got followed up on and were found to be false. Okay, they started off with Clinton with these crazy redactions, some of the shit that wasn't even on Epstein's planes, trying to imply guilt. And then they did the whole like Clinton contempt thing. So they're trying to shift it to Clinton. Now they're giving us the racy, crazy shit to see if we'll all bite. Okay. And what's going on, okay, is there's really real shit in there. Like real shit that implicates people. Okay. There is real, like, it's almost like they're trying to destroy the credibility of everything related to Epstein. So when the real shit finally finds its way out, nobody believes it. But I think the Michael Wolff photos are in there, and I think there's still videos, guys. Okay? There's some camera shit. This guy was way too into surveillance. Okay? And they are, somebody said it earlier, if they destroy the credibility of the Epstein files, they destroy the credibility of everything the Epstein files say about their clients. Because the problem here is this guy does not work for the U.S. government. This guy works for Donald fucking Trump, bro. And so does Pam Bondi, and so does Harmeet Dillon, and so does 𝗙ście 𝗶𝗍𝗆. So nobody in leadership is working for the government or working for the survivors. They are all working for Donald fucking Trump. They are all compromised. Many of them are in it. And I mean, dude, it's crazy, dude. What is up, guys? Thank you so much for watching. You like the video, you want to support independent resistance media, you know what to do. Drop that sub, hit the like button, and please share it. And we do love our members, so if you want to become a member, it's another really great way to support. Thanks again for everything, guys. I'll see you next time. Let's go.